Let's get more on what we can expect from markets, not just today, but in the week to come. Peter McGuire from XM joins me now. Peter, hi, welcome. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. Clearly, the assassination attempt on Donald Trump is front of mind. How have traders reacted? How do you expect them to react?
Well, good morning, Nadine. I think a couple of things. First off, I think it'll galvanise, and thank God for his safety, but it'll galvanise his voter base. And I feel as though the next part will be probably a little bit of choppiness across US equities. I wouldn't be surprised if gold takes another leg up from here. US dollar will probably strengthen, and I think that's how it'll work through. Bitcoin's had a bit of a rally to the upside first off, so let's just see how the next matter of 12 to 18 hours hits the market and how we interpret movement and volatility.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll be watching all of those key markets, and again there will be consternation around what it means for the relationship between the United States and China in particular.
Yes.
We've got a big trade surplus happening in China. Donald Trump does not like that. So where are you looking for indications as to how the market is reading the potential for an aggravated trade war between the two countries?
Well, there's no doubt, Nadine, that he's looking at probably increasing tariffs and reintroducing and taking that to the next step forward. So I think 25 is going to be a very fascinating year if he does regain power, and how he interprets that and really, manages expectation moving forward. He's said quite openly that he's looking at cancelling tax on tips, and he's got changes affront as far as what he sees as far as income tax. So he's got a different agenda, and it's going to be, again, fascinating how this plays out over the next 12 to 18 months leading into the end of 25.
All right, and we do have China data due today. Do you expect to see any type of volatility around the data releases there?
I wouldn't be surprised. I think that CSI 300, I'm not sure which way it'll go. I think you'll see movement. That's the big thing, because when we're seeing as far as Asian equities, the CSI 300 sat on its hands pretty much over the last 6 to 12 months. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of volatility across that market, maybe a move to the upside. I think they'll be looking at some form of stimulus. They have to appreciate where the property market is, and of course where the equity markets are trading. And we all understand the overhang as far as the property market, debt, and really to kickstart that China economy and really get it moving again to consumption internally, Nadine, because there's weak consumption globally from an export-driven model.
Now, Peter, just moving away from China, because I will be discussing that a little bit with my next guest. What about the ECB? What are we expecting to come from the ECB? I mean, they've said that they're on a rate-cutting, move, but potentially not this month.
Well, exactly right. You've got ECB concludes a 2-day meeting by Thursday. You've got, the majority of traders are saying you're going to see another rate cut, but that'll be probably later in the year, Nadine, maybe September, or could even be pushed out to October. But you're certainly in the downtrend as far as rates. They cut 25 basis points last month, not expecting anything this month, but, push it out a couple of months, and we'll see another rate cut for sure. So that's what most traders are looking at. The euro dollar is sitting at around about 1.0940, 1.0950. I wouldn't be surprised if it actually takes a little bit further softness if the US dollar has a leg up after the assassination attempt on President Trump.
Okay, and just now that we're back in the United States, it'll be really interesting this week, won't it, to see the U.S. retail sales data coming through, because, there are indications that the economy is slowing there. The jobs market is loosening up, but Americans have been still spending up.
Well, they are spending up, but they're also, very heavily indebted, and we've got to see, as far as credit card debt, and it's certainly pretty tough on Main Street if you're not, a big earner. And you're looking at the retail sales, Nadine, in June, they'll probably come in at flat at 0% after rising 0.1% in May. So that's where we're looking at. It might be, you might see just a touch up, but it's looking fairly anemic, and we'll see how that runs again over the rest of the summer period.
All right, and just a final thought on what we could expect to see when it comes to that Bitcoin price, because of course Bitcoin trades over the weekend. So run us through what happened, particularly post that Trump rally and assassination attempt, and what we could sort of start to potentially see this week coming from Bitcoin.
Well, it's nudging 61,000, Nadine. It's bid up pretty strongly since we're nearly at that 56 odd over the last week or so. So that's a big move, 10% up, and I wouldn't be surprised if that continues over the next couple of days. It might give up a little bit of that hot air, but let's just see. We've got to get through that 62,000 from a psychological and a technical standpoint. But it looks like it's onward and upward again. So it's, again, just demonstrating the fragility and the volatility across that whole crypto market.